Good morning. It is Throwback Thursday. I'm throwing it way, 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 way back where Mr. Bill Siniard had hair when you first appeared, and I got to read this.
I've still got hair.
You got hair, you do. It's lighter.
Just not
it's
as
lighter.
much.
That's right. That's right. Let me read. This is your ETC team. North Georgia Now Today is seen Monday through Friday on ETC3. Sherry Martin and co-host Bill Siniard, Matt Dibler, Charlene Higgins, and Angela Burgess visit with guests from Turtletown to Ball Ground. They will charm you with their down-home attitude and share great gospel music with our viewers. Today, you filled the bill, and you did what?
Well, I brought a bunch of music. Some of it's gospel, but a lot of it's not.
And y'all will be so proud of me because we kind of did a and I got a question right that kind of blew your mind.
Well, I didn't want to just spring it on you, so I gave you a little heads up, and you actually got something I had in mind.
You did, and because we are a good Christian network and we're good folks, I'm not going to read the sign that was hanging over my mama's desk, but it was pretty funny.
Please don't.
It was pretty funny. It says something that has to do with if airports were, yes, and it's really funny. So. You gotta laugh, guys.
See her off the air. She'll tell you off the air.
Yeah, when I'm off the air, I'll tell y'all. You gotta laugh, you gotta have fun, you gotta enjoy, and that is something. You walked in with a shirt today, and I have to say happy birthday yesterday to my beautiful granddaughter, Victoria, who is in Hawaii on a volcano at 2 a.m. The elevation at 8,000 feet, she started getting nauseous. She went up to the top of this volcano, and it really helps to be in love with an world award-winning Emmy winner, Michael Niederbrock, who is her true love, and they were at the top of this volcano. Michael has won every award in photography and videography. That's who you take to the top of the volcano.
Yep.
So happy birthday to Tori, and y'all travel safely, enjoy every moment. She has a connection with Hawaii now because her mother's ashes were taken to Hawaii to put into where Angela would want her final resting place to be.
It's a good place. I was
there.
Does
that make sense?
Yeah, I was there 5 years ago almost. Next month will be 5 years. I enjoyed it.
How did you describe Hawaii when you got back? Did you tell people words like amazing, unbelievable? Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's tropical. I got to go through a rainforest for the first time, and I started wearing my other shirt. It's we went to a little town we went to Maui, by the way. And on the other side of the island, about 50-something miles away, is a little bitty community called Hana, H-A-N-A. And to get there, there's hundreds of curves and bridges, and it's a trip. But the views are amazing.
Worse than North Georgia mountains.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Makes us look like amateurs.
And it's all on cliffs overhanging the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, you brought me a gift today, and I'll just tell y'all, I love Donna Fargo. Love her, love her, love her. Interviewed her. So happy to spend time with her. I don't like this song, Bill. I appreciate the gift.
Well, it's yours.
I appreciate the gesture.
I thought you might like it better than I do. So
I like it okay, and I'll keep it because it's 1974, and we are throwing it way back today. We're going to throw it way back to the music of my era, of your era, and we're going to share some music. Your daddy liked Merle Haggard. You're not a big Merle fan. I love this song, I Threw Away the Rose. Do you know this song?
No, but that guitar back there looks like something he would have played. So.
It does. I love that song, and I love sharing. This is a photo of me and Kenny Rogers, and this is during a time I had just become a young widow, and I had just started going out and doing things, and this is with some friends, and I have to say good morning to all of them. You know, we look at life, seems like yesterday to me. It was 21 years ago.
You know the group he was with before he went solo?
First Edition.
Very good.
Yes.
See, that's another trivia. You're on it today. So.
Trivia. I'm winning. And speaking of throwing it back Thursday, this is me in pigtails and me and the boys as we had just come home from a race. And when you look in the background, you will see a 77 Cutlass that was custom ordered at Lawson Chevrolet way back then, and it's amazing. This was when was it? Maybe 1978.
Well, if that's a 77 Cutlass, it's got to be at least 77 or 78.
I think about 1978, and it was racing time in our lives, and have fun. Throwback Thursday it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Let's throw it back. Now, today, I love that in an office today, things are very, very different. Attention all employees. To save time, please give excuses by the number. Everybody has an excuse for why something didn't get done. The computer fouled it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't think it was that important. Oh, don't blame me. I was hired for my looks, not my brain. Okay. No one told me to go ahead. Yeah. I've been too busy. We've always done it that way. I forgot. I was waiting for an okay. That's someone else's job. And the best one, the boss didn't tell me, but I love this one. Sorry, I goofed. Is that pretty typical?
Where's the one on there that says, my daddy owns this place?
That's right. There ought to be one. There ought to be one. There ought to be one. And my favorite hung over my desk for years, and my husband actually bought me this sign, and it said, do you want to talk to the man in charge or the woman who knows what's going on?
Yeah,
my husband bought me that sign.
I've got a sign in my house that says that.
That's right. That's right. Now, speaking of the woman who knows what's going on, Miss Melissa babysitting again today?
She is, yeah.
Yep, yep. Loving those grandbabies?
Yes,
just
she
a
is.
little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't tell her to stop. She loves it. So.
Well, your season is about to start with your business, and then people will not see you as much because you're going to get super busy doing what you do and doing what you love. You and Jordan are lucky enough to be able to work for yourselves,
right,
which is pretty awesome.
Enjoy it.
And set your time frame. What have you enjoyed doing on this time that y'all have been off? Have you and Melissa done some special stuff?
We have. We're getting ready to travel this coming weekend. We're going over to Huntsville with her sister and her brother and their family, and we're going to go see the Space Center and do a few of those little sightseeing things and eat some good food.
Let me tell you about last time I went to Huntsville. 1985 300 SD Mercedes blue, and I had gone to meet with Kroger up in Nashville, and I was coming back through Huntsville because I had to check on one of their stores in Decatur, Alabama.
Pretty place.
And I'm approaching getting on the interstate. I'm going too fast. And this really, really nice, big, huge black trooper stopped me. And he said, ma'am, may I ask what your hurry is? And I looked up and smiled and said, you're not going to believe this, but I'm trying to beat dark home. He said, what? And I said, I have cataracts and I don't drive well after dark. And he said, where's home? And I said, well, I'm going over to my lake house in Cedar Bluff. And he said, he looked at his watch and he looked at me and he said, I don't care how fast you go, you're not going to make it. And he wrote me a warning. He didn't write me a ticket. He was so sweet. But as we get older and we get cataracts, sometimes you can't see. I was young when I got cataracts. Have you had cataracts?
No, I had a Cadillac.
Yeah, big difference, yeah. But honestly, I got cataracts young, and I could not drive at night. I mean, I was just like, I had to plan my day to get where I was going and get home.
So you're one of those little ladies that tells the preacher, no, sir, I can't come on Sunday nights because I can't see to drive back home.
I can't see to drive back home. But it did happen to me young, and I was like, whoa, wow.
My dad got that too.
Yeah.
He went and had the surgery and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
and it's amazing when they do that surgery how all of a sudden you can see. Can I share something? This is a precious gift from here in Ellijay, Misty Hollow, and this is my guest yesterday, Sweet O'Neill Anderson, that I love. Gave me the sweetest little gift, and it has bees on it because I told her, I said, I have this new saying, it's be happy. Be happy. And these are so cute. I have a big set, and now I have a little set of bee salt and pepper shakers. And then I love this. This is hand soap, and it looks like honey, doesn't it?
Yeah, I could eat that.
Isn't that awesome?
On a piece
Isn't
of
that
bread,
awesome?
yeah.
So thank you to Miss O'Neill Anderson,
Making
who
me
was
hungry.
with me yesterday. I want to ask you a loaded question. As a married man with children, have you done your estate planning so that if you were to fall over sitting here dead today, Melissa would be okay?
Yeah, I told them all they ain't getting nothing, so that's my
There you
estate.
go. You did it. You did it. You did it.
I done spent it all.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I think about people who say, well, I want to do this and I want to do that for my children. Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Do it for yourself. Enjoy every moment. Is there anything that you and Melissa want to do that you haven't done yet?
Yeah, there's a lot of places I want to go see.
Yeah, you've
I mean,
seen a lot.
Seen a lot, yeah.
You have.
Over the last few years, but still want to go see some more.
You've been to Hawaii. Have you been to Alaska?
Not to Alaska.
Well, shame
I've
on
been
you.
to-
You could go stay with Tori and Michael, and they would love it. They have an extra bedroom.
I've been to Seattle, I've been to Portland, I've been to San Diego 3 times, been to Los Angeles a couple of times, been out to Yellowstone, been to Montana, Idaho, and Colorado, all the Rocky Mountains.
All the places he's named.
Yeah.
Ask me if I've been
Been to
there.
Niagara Falls.
Not a one of them. I've never seen a one of them.
You're missing.
Never seen a one of them. I've seen a postcard from most of
I
them.
saw Niagara Falls this morning on the news cycle, and it showed it's almost frozen over. I mean,
Really?
it looks it's beautiful, but man,
Wow.
it looks cold.
Well, well, did you hear the rumor that there's going to be some cold temperatures this weekend?
Yeah, I heard it
And
could be a
spit or
chance.
two of
Yeah,
snow?
a little mix
Isn't that
in there,
crazy,
yeah.
y'all? It's going to be 60, and now we're going to have a spit or two of snow.
That's
So,
North Georgia
that's
for you.
nuts.
Well, I got some stuff for you today.
You do. Tell me what you're going to do to
Well,
me today.
I don't know which
He's
one I
gonna
want
slaughter me
to. I don't know which
today.
one I want to do first. Let's just show a few of these if you want
Okay.
to. This is
All
one
right,
of my
the Carpenters.
favorites.
Yes.
That one has "We've Only Just Begun" and "Close to You," mega hits.
Mega hits.
Yes,
Mega hits.
that's what put them on the map.
These people, I hate to say this out loud because I hate that she's gone, but her brother is still reaping the benefits of her voice.
Yeah, but he's reaping the benefits of his work.
Yes,
And without his
yes,
work, it
yes,
wouldn't
it
sound as
wouldn't have
good.
happened. It
He
wouldn't
was
have
the guy
happened.
that did all the mixing and the engineering
Yes,
and the
yes.
arranging and all that stuff.
And I can tell you, as throwing it back Thursday, the mixing and the engineering is as important as anything else.
And his playing. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
absolutely.
the engine behind that right there. Show him that one.
Oh, this is funny. This is the Archies, and Sugar Sugar was that song that it just made you
Made you
feel
kinda
good.
bebop,
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. That was a bebop song. That is too cool.
That's back in your high school days.
Gosh, I'm out.
Back in your high school days.
I'm off my meds right now, y'all, because I'm having some more tests and I can't do the meds. So
I've
that's
got-
why I can't breathe.
I own this particular one, but I also own the picture disc, which is the album that has this on the cover of the album. It's
Yep,
imprinted in it,
yep.
and that's on my wall at the house.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, who are these gentlemen? Do I know these gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got. Oh,
They
speaking
might be the Beatles.
speaking of the Beatles,
Yeah.
John and Paul were in a small group in Liverpool, England, before they became the Beatles. What was the name of that
I
group?
remember that they were, but I don't remember the name.
The Quarrymen.
The Quarrymen.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's another
Wow.
one of your favorites.
Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond. Is he still alive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
still touring.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding
He's
you.
got to be older than dirt.
He's in his early 80s probably.
Early 80s and still making money singing. Are you kidding me?
There's a trivia question I was
See,
gonna-
Mr. Ellijay, there's hope for you.
There was a trivia question I was going to ask you too. He wrote for other people as well. One of his earlier ones was with the Monkees that did "I'm a Believer."
I'm a believer.
Yeah.
Love that song. Love it.
I like this group, but you said it's not.
Not my, no.
Tony Orlando and
If I've
Dawn.
heard that one song 1,000,000 times, I don't want
Knock
anybody to knock
three
three times.
times
I don't
on-
want you to knock 3 times.
How about
I don't want
how
you
about
to,
a
no.
tie a yellow ribbon round
Yeah,
the
yeah.
old
And I
oak
heard that too
tree?
many times. Yeah.
Okay, all
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
There's an obscure one that you might not remember,
Yeah.
but
These look like mafia members. Isn't that crazy? They got that greasy, slick back hair. They
The
look like
song-
the mob. They look like they need a machine gun with them.
they were mainly instrumental, and one of
Yeah.
their big hits was the one I was telling you about earlier, "Sleepwalk." The Ventures
I
also.
liked Raunchy. I thought that was cool.
The Ventures
So,
also did some of their work too, like Caravan and others.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
There's a classic right here, and it opens
oh
up.
my gosh. Hotel California. And you know, we could give away some music.
Not these, you ain't.
No. We could give away a CD of Bill Siniard's if you know.
Do you still have one? Because I didn't bring
I
one.
do. I
today.
have
Okay.
one. Who sang and who did Hotel California? And
It's right there on the
y'all can
album.
message me. You can call me. You can do whatever. Everybody knows my phone number. And this one is the Beach Boys. Now, what do you know about the Beach Boys? Do you remember the story about me and the Beach Boys?
You told me one time you got to meet
If I'd
them.
known you were bringing this, I'd have brought the picture of me. This is hard to imagine, y'all. I had on a navy blue and white bikini the day I
Oh.
met the Beach Boys. That was a long.
That's what the young people
long
call.
time ago.
That's what the young people call TMI.
Yeah, it was TMI. But that was, we had lunch at the Cherry Plaza Hotel in Orlando, and I got to sit right across from Dennis Wilson and right next to Glenn Campbell, and what a amazing experience.
you've
for a
actually met Glenn
14-year-old
Campbell,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. And he was married to Billy then. Did you know that? Yes.
You toured with him for a while. That's one of the better selling albums of the 1970s.
Absolutely. And how many of these boys are left?
One.
One.
Yep.
One.
Well, if you
Just
don't count
one.
John Travolta, I mean,
Yeah. What amazing voices.
We'll
What
stop at-
amazing voices.
we'll stop at that. Now, I got another trivia question for you.
Okay.
If I asked you of the 20th century, we're talking about the 1900s, what is the biggest selling album of the 1900s, the 20th century? What would you say it would be? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not Elvis and it's not the Beatles. And it's still selling millions
Wait
today.
a minute. And I know I have heard this before, and I don't know, but I know it's a shocker. Is it
Well-
Michael Jackson?
He took the record for about 2 years from this group.
Okay.
But they've reclaimed it since.
Okay.
It's this one right here, the Eagles' greatest hits. It was put out in
I can
1970.
understand that.
Let me
Yeah.
read that to you. It's songs like Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Lying Eyes, Already Gone, Desperado, One of These Nights, Tequila Sunrise, Take It to the Limit, Peaceful Easy Feeling, and Best of My Love.
Yeah.
That's the CD version. It was released February 17th, 1976. It was #1 for 5 weeks. The Recording Industry Artist Association, they certified it 39 or 38 times platinum, which means 38 million records. That's just in the United States.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, best-selling
Yeah.
album in the USA for the 20th century. In 2017, the Library of Congress preserved it in the National Recording Registry. Get that.
Well,
It was surpassed by Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah.
But by 2018 in August, they surpassed that again. So that's the biggest selling album in the 20th century.
ever. Yeah, in the 20th century.
Yeah.
I can understand that because we still have a period of old people like us, me and him. He's old too.
Not yet.
We love the Eagles. You love the moment, the music, the memories. It's amazing
I
music.
went and saw them. It's been 2 years ago. Let's see, 3 years ago now, and it was right about the time COVID hit. Whatever year. I guess it's been 3 years.
Were they in Marietta area?
No, they were in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena,
Okay.
and they opened. They did Hotel California. They started the album, played it front to back.
Oh, wow.
Then they went on a recess, came back about 20 minutes later, and played everything else that they know.
Wow.
It was good. Sounded just
And
like the record.
Let me ask you
And Vince Gill was with them too.
a loaded question. What did that ticket cost?
Let me think about that. We sat way up on the stage side. I think it was around $75, $80.
Okay. I paid $73 to see Loretta Lynn and had tickets that were horrible seats.
Mm-hmm.
So for $70-something, you were in a part of history.
Yeah,
that was
it was
really
good.
cool.
Very
Yeah.
good. I enjoyed it.
That's not an unbelievable price. That's okay.
Not today, it's not.
No.
I
yeah,
paid a lot
that's cool.
less. I've got some
How
tickets.
did you get a ticket? Did you have to go to a scalper or did you just get on
No,
there and got it?
my wife's girlfriend, she's a whiz on all
Mm-hmm,
that stuff, so she got them up.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Somebody is trying to call me, and see, they don't know that right now I can't answer that phone. It's laying here just because. I don't know why it's laying here.
All right, I
But
got some more
can't
trivia
answer it.
questions for
Okay,
you.
now what you going to stump me
This is
with?
music trivia, and I gave you this one earlier, and I think you about nailed it. 1966, there was a song called Red Rubber Ball. I
Right.
think it's gonna be all right. Yes, the worst is over now. The morning sun is shining like a red rubber ball.
by The Circle.
The Circle.
The Circle.
They spelled that, let's see, Cyrkle.
And what did they ever do after that song?
They had a couple more little minor hits, but that was their big hit.
That was it. Yeah.
Here's another one for you, and I didn't give you the answer to this one. This is from 1969, probably the year you graduated.
The year I would have graduated.
High
You're
school,
right.
that is, not
Yes,
college,
Yes.
not romper room.
Yeah.
The song is More Today Than Yesterday. I love you more today than
that song.
yesterday.
Oh,
only
and
half
it's a
as
group
much
of guys.
tomorrow.
It's a group of guys, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
They spell it funny. It's called Spiral Staircase.
Spiral Staircase.
Pat
Yep.
Upton's lead
Yep.
singer of that.
Yep.
Saw him at the Oldies show in Atlanta.
I failed. I flunked. Okay.
All right, here's another one for you. Number 3. Come on down to my boat, baby.
I can't. It's
19
too cold to get in the lake.
1967.
Okay.
You won't get this. This is This is a little obscure.
I will
one.
not know that one.
It's a one-hit wonder by Every Mother's Son.
I remember that name, but I do not remember.
The
Didn't even know. Yeah.
sub-question under that question is what color was the boat? It's mentioned in the song.
I don't know.
Red.
Red rubber, yeah, okay, sorry. I failed.
Not a
I
red
failed.
rubber boat. That's
Do you know,
rubber.
if I was getting 33 for each grade, I just flunked that biology
Well, I think
test.
you'll get this one. I think you'll get this one because this is one of your favorite singers and groups. This was from 1968, and the song is called "Over You."
Oh.
Oh, I guess there's just no getting over you, and there's nothing I can do but spend all of my time out of my mind.
I know that song.
Over
Oh,
you.
I don't know who sang it.
Gary Puckett and the Union Gap.
Union Gap. I met them in Atlanta in an elevator the same night I met Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Paul Revere and the Raiders, yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You know, you know Glenn Campbell played on some of their stuff?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let me tell you about Glenn Campbell. We were talking yesterday about Alzheimer's and having conversations about what happens to your life when you lose that memory. Think of the genius writers, the genius artists who came down with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And I mean, y'all, if they had come down with it earlier, so much of the music that you and I grew up on and loved wouldn't be.
That's just the way life works. I mean, you don't know who's going to do what and when they're going to do it, and then boof, they're gone. I got one of his records here, Southern Nights. It's a 45 single.
Yeah.
And on the B side is William Tell Overture. Man, he played the heck out of that song.
He was amazing. He was amazing.
And one of the people he helped get started was Anne Murray. And I got hers right here.
Snowbird.
Could I have this dance?
Yeah, yeah.
I brought you some 45s today because of that.
Cool.
I was going to go over some old music. Ronnie Millsap, There's No Getting Over Me.
Have you ever seen him live?
Not live. I've seen him on, and he hadn't seen me either, but I've seen him live on TV.
You're funny. I saw him at Lanierland over in Cumming. And that beautiful piano, I don't know how they got that piano in there for him, but it was an amazing concert.
He has a range.
Amazing, yeah.
Here's one of my favorites too. Tommy James and the Shondells, Crimson and Clover.
Crimson and Clover, over and over.
You know, that was a song that came out that really changed the way music was produced because of the sound. It had that wavy sound to it.
Was that from
weird.
a harmonica? What was that from?
It's just the way if you ever know, like on an organ, they have a thing called the Leslie that sits next to it where they can change the speed of the vibrato of it. They can do that with the instruments in the studio as well.
Well, speaking of, today's musicians, today's studio producers and arrangers have things that these guys didn't have.
Pro Tools.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
And these guys created magical music because they didn't have all that junk.
Right.
And they did it on their own.
People like Karen Carpenter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pure, what you heard is what you got.
Yeah.
And of course, they did stack tracks and stuff like that, stack vocals, I mean. And I do have some in Glenn Campbell, speaking of Glenn Campbell.
He's going to make me look really stupid.
Well, this is not
really
trivia.
Stupid.
This is not trivia for you. This is just information I wanted to
Okay.
read out for you. And if I can see it here on this
He's old.
the sun is shining off my head and it's glaring on my
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
Well, around 1960, he moved to Los Angeles and became a session musician. Well, I'll ask you this. Do you remember the name of the group or the session group that he played with in Los Angeles?
Don't.
It's called the Wrecking Crew.
No, I do remember hearing that.
Now, there's a documentary out there that you can watch about that, and it's very, very interesting.
Who else was in that group that people might know?
Carol, what's her name, played the bass. Hal Blaine played drums. There's just a lot of good. Some of the musicians you heard, like on the Carpenters records and other people record, they did the session music. And I'm going to tell you some of the people that they played for, including Glenn Campbell played for. The Beach Boys. He played on Pet Sounds.
That's how I met him.
He played on Pet Sounds album. Played for Bobby Darin, Frank Sinatra. The funny story with Frank Sinatra, he went to play for him on which song was it there? I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, he said he was so starstruck, Glenn Campbell stared at him. And Frank Sinatra asked the managers that was with him, said, "Who the blanky blank is this guy?" Staring, get rid of him, you know. But he did fantastic. He kept him around. He also played for Ricky Nelson. He played for Dean Martin.
Now,
Nat King
what
Cole.
happened to Ricky Nelson? We know what happened to him.
Yeah, he got involved in some
Bad stuff.
pharmaceutical stuff. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. And a plane blew up, and he died in a plane crash. Yeah.
He played on some of the Monkees records. He played for Nancy Sinatra, Merle Haggard. Played on some of his stuff. Jan and Dean, all the stuff you hear from
Dead
Jan and
Man's
Dean.
Curve.
That's
God, I love
Glenn
that
Campbell
song.
playing in that.
I love that song.
You don't realize, okay, you know Glenn Campbell songs like Southern Nights and Rhinestone Cowboy, But before that, you're
By
listening
the
to
time I
him
get
play.
to Phoenix.
Yeah, by the
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Played on some Bing Crosby records, Phil Spector, the big wall of sound. Sammy Davis Jr. played for Doris Day, Bobby V, the Everly Brothers. He played on some of their stuff.
The Everly Brothers, I got to meet them, and I have always been fascinated by the sound of the Everly Brothers. They were
harmony.
The harmony was unbelievable.
It was,
Yeah.
Shelley Fabre, he played on the Cascades, played for Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Now, Shelley Fabre, opinion, could she sing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to her?
Johnny Angel. Yeah.
That was Angela's song. She loved
Well,
that
she was more into
song.
acting, really. I mean,
Yeah,
but
she loved that
That was
song.
a good hit for her. Played for Wayne Newton. Donka Shane, that song.
Is Wayne Newton still alive?
He is. Donka Shane, you remember the song? He was only
Yeah.
like
Oh,
16
yeah.
or 17.
Yeah.
That's Glenn Campbell played on that
Yeah,
record.
that is crazy.
The first edition we talked about.
Kenny Rogers in the
That's
first
Glenn
edition.
Campbell playing.
Yeah.
The Kingston Trio, Roger Miller, Glenn Clark,
Now,
Gene
the
Clark.
Kingston Trio ended up changing hands and different things and different people, but they had that sound. They had that sound that was recreated over and over and over.
He did. He played for Lou Rawls. He played for Lauren Green of Bonanza. He had an album. He also helped Elvis with the recording soundtrack of Viva Las Vegas. Wow. He played on that as well. So, I mean, the guy was loaded with talent.
He was.
He also wrote early in his career, I think it was around 1960, 61, he wrote the song Turn Around, Look at Me by the Vogues. They did it later on. So. By December 1964 to early March 65, he toured with the Beach Boys because
When I met him,
Wilson
1965.
Wilson couldn't tour, so he asked him to tour for him, and he played bass
Easter
guitar.
weekend 1965 at the Cherry Plaza Hotel. The Beach Boys were performing in concert that night, and the tickets were like hardly anything.
Probably about $2.
Hardly anything. And it's crazy to think about. At that period of time, the Beach Boys were on top of their game. Not long after that, Dennis drowned.
Yeah.
And things changed.
Well, Brian asked him to fill in for him because he was unable to tour, and he toured with him and played bass guitar for him on the tour. And later that year, he went on tour with Ricky Nelson overseas. 1966, Glenn Campbell played guitar on the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds album, which we mentioned earlier. His hit songs like Gentle on My Mind, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Wichita Lineman, Southern Nights, and Rhinestone Cowboy, and Galveston.
I forgot about Galveston.
He also was an actor. He played in the movie True Grit with
I
John
remember
Wayne.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course he had the Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour. I've been watching some of that recently, and there was a lot of stars came on
And
that
y'all
show.
go to YouTube. Everybody who's watching here today, please go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. It's Sherry Martin. Just type in my name, C-H-E-R-I-E. But I will tell you, I thought I spelled my name weird. There's a lot of people who spell their name like I do. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Because what we do is every day when we come off the air, then this goes to YouTube, and then you can go back and reference and look at and hear and see some of the stuff we do. It is amazing to me. YouTube isn't that old.
No.
But YouTube has changed the way we look at life because we all go to YouTube for questions answered or asked or whatever.
It's the
we go to YouTube.
It's the new college. You can learn anything you want to on YouTube. It may not be always right, but you can learn.
Yeah, you can learn. Yeah.
Glenn Campbell also helped launch the careers of Anne Murray and Jerry Reed and Alan Jackson.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
What a blessing Alan Jackson was to country music. The day that he stepped on stage and did Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning. Never been an appearance like that, because we as America were ready for that song. We needed to hear that song.
I don't know if you knew this either, and you friends out there might not know it either, but Glenn Campbell played golf quite a bit, lived out in the Phoenix area. You know who he played golf with the most, and is one of his best friends? Alice Cooper.
Really?
Now, you talking about
now
a
that's
contrast.
Weird.
But
that's weird.
But off stage, that guy's a pretty normal guy.
Yeah,
But they were friends, and they spent a lot of time together.
Yeah. Well, it's like Kiss. Off stage, Kiss was kind of normal. You know, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
Well, we mentioned some of the groups he played for, but here's some of the songs he played on. You'll remember these songs. Surf City by Jan and Dean. That's Glenn Campbell.
Yep.
You've Lost That Loving Feeling.
Oh, the Righteous Brothers.
By the Righteous Brothers. That's Glenn Campbell.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Such a great song. Yeah.
Merle Haggard, Mama Tried.
Yes.
He plays on that.
Yeah.
Here's the Frank Sinatra song, "Strangers in the Night."
Yeah.
That's Glenn Campbell playing guitar there. The Monkees song "Mary, Mary," he played on that one, and I'm a believer. "Hello, Mary Lou" by Ricky Nelson. If you'll listen to that song, that's Glenn Campbell playing.
Glenn Campbell.
"Donka Shane" by Wayne Newton.
Now let me ask you something. As a session musician on all these, do you get royalties just like
No.
everybody else does?
You're just a paid
You're
guy.
paid for that.
Paid for that as like an hourly employee, yeah.
Okay.
He also played for the Ripcord song "Hey Little Cobra."
Love that song.
Elvis Presley, "What'd I Say?"
Wow. Wow.
The old Ray Charles
now, that
song.
was and that was a busy song for Elvis. Yeah.
And here's some Beach Boys songs he plays guitar on. "I Get Around."
Love it.
Round, round, round.
Yeah. Yeah.
"Dance, Dance, Dance," and "Fun, Fun, Fun."
The Gentrys.
No, Beach Boys.
Beach Boys did it.
"Fun, Fun, Fun." Yeah.
Since Daddy took your T-Bird
Right.
away. I remember.
Simon and Garfunkel, "Sound of Silence."
Yes. Oh, what a song. Mrs. Robinson, was that the song that was done in that movie?
That one, yeah.
I think
the,
it was.
The Graduate.
Yes, The Graduate, yeah.
"Sounds of Silence" is a funny story, though. I heard the story where the Simon and Garfunkel, they went to England to do some recording, and when they got back, the recording studio they had done it in acoustic and a cappella stuff. When they got back, the recording business had put the music to it. They didn't like it.
Oh,
But they put it out
interesting.
anyway.
They did it anyway.
That's Glenn Campbell playing on that one. Nancy Sinatra song "Sugar," which I'm not as familiar with that one. And "Something Stupid" by Frank and Nancy Sinatra. And "Dang Me" by Roger Miller.
Wow.
Now, I watched a documentary on Glenn Campbell recently on his last tour. He played with his kids on the tour.
Right.
And you could tell he was...
As he had dementia.
He had
Yeah.
dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And Paul McCartney goes backstage after one of the shows to see him and shake his hand and say he appreciated his work, and he just looked at him like he didn't know him. But he did not miss a lick playing the guitar the whole concert.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Well, you know the story of, we had a friend here who was playing the piano, doing music. She and Freddie had played together many, many years ago. And she would just sit down, she looked up at him and said, "You do that in D, right?" And she hadn't seen him in a long time, and that she starts playing. Well, we realized after that show, she had the beginning of full-blown Alzheimer's. And it was so weird because the music, she remembered the music, but then she didn't remember other things.
I've seen my aunt do that.
Yeah.
Eileen that came on here, just like that.
And it was so strange because the music stayed with her, but then the memory went away, and it just, it's kind
of the way that works.
It's heartbreaking. You know, we look at the industry and how many people we've lost, and you know, Earl Thomas Conley was like I could not wait to interview that man. I was so excited. And when they called and said his band has full-blown flu, everybody has a temperature, do you still want to do the interview? Yes, I do. And I sat right next to him with full-blown flu. I didn't even get sick, didn't do anything. What a joy to have that today, because he came down with Alzheimer's right after that. And he didn't last but a few years. And I'm so thankful that I have that, because that was like one of those lost forever things.
Yeah. There's another documentary I think you would enjoy if you haven't seen it yet. It's called Muscle Shoals.
Oh yeah, I love it. Been to Muscle Shoals, been to the area, been to the museum.
They
It's
talk about
amazing.
all the artists that came through there
Oh
and
my
recorded,
gosh.
and the backstories in there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
One of your favorites you interviewed, "When a Man
Percy
Loves
Sledge.
a Woman." He was just a guy working at a hotel there locally, and
Absolutely.
he came in and did a record.
Absolutely.
And they had a group there of session musicians like Los Angeles did. They called them something else. You remember what it was?
No.
The Swampers.
The Swampers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They played on Leonard Skinner's records.
Gosh,
All the
man.
way up. They recorded it all the way
That's
up
when
to
music
the
was
90s.
music. That's before all the craziness.
Aretha Franklin recorded a lot of her stuff,
Yeah.
early stuff there.
Yeah, yeah. And if y'all haven't been to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, it is
Wilson
just
Pickett.
it's due west of Huntsville, so it's not very far.
Yeah, kind of this side of Memphis, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of, and the proximity to Memphis, I'm sure, had something to do with why it was so successful. But so many amazing musicians, and when you go to this Hall of Fame museum, it has stuff that's like everybody's music. It has gospel, it has bluegrass, it has soul, it has country, it has everything.
Well, even the Rolling Stones, people were listening to it. It sounded like it was recorded in Motown, basically, but it wasn't.
No,
and all the Motown artists started wanting to go there
Muscle
to record.
Shoals.
And the
Muscle
Rolling
Shoals,
Stones, they
Alabama.
heard that and they wanted to go record there, so they loaded up one time and went and recorded one of their albums there.
So y'all quit making fun of Alabama.
Tom Jones was recorded there.
Quit making fun of Alabama. We've all made fun of Alabama. Alabama produced some of the greatest music in music history.
Yeah.
The greatest music in music history. Well, we're going to take a commercial break because we need to, and we want you to remember our sponsors, and we want you to pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, thank you for doing what you do. You know, we are so blessed to be able to come to an audience that a lot of them are our age, but we've got some younger viewers, and I love hearing from the younger viewers because they're like, hey, my mom and dad listened to that music and now I listen to it too. Mm-hmm. And it's so weird because we all, my mother loved show tunes. She loved Rodgers and Hammerstein. She took me to Broadway plays. She did things like that. My mother was a very different era, but I still love some of that today.
Did she like big band music?
But she loved a jitterbug.
Okay.
She won every jitterbug contest anywhere she ever went. She loved stuff like that, and I still have a love for that stuff, you know, and it's because of what your parents set you in. So if you were a kid riding down the road with your mom and dad, and they were playing George Jones, and it was all about drinking and women and craziness, you might have grown up with that. What did your daddy, if you got in a car with your dad, what was he playing?
He's playing George Jones, Marty Robbins, Johnny Cash, that kind of stuff.
That's it. So remember the old music and check it out, and you can check out a lot of it on YouTube. All right, we're going to go to a commercial. We'll be right back.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
United Country Talking Rock Realty says welcome to North Georgia. The leaves are falling and the mountains are calling. Take the back roads and really get to know North Georgia. Combine the amazing workmanship of SGC Groups, transforming the forgotten to the fabulous. Teamwork makes the dream work. For buying, selling, or flipping, call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Whether you're swimming in the sea, or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Beginning with Cold, Cold Heart. After I sold
Okay, a little taste of what you can see on YouTube. Go to my channel, Sherry Martin, CherieMartin, and you can see that in its entirety. Now, I'm going to throw a trivia question out for our audience. If you can tell me who was the man sitting there playing steel guitar, you can call me on my cell phone, 404-375-0590, or you can text me. You can do it after the show or now. It doesn't matter because I'll look down and I'll take the thing. But that was somebody who played for you, actually.
Yeah, I did a song
Don't
here.
say his name.
Yeah, I did a song here. It's right over to my left here one night. It's just one song came in and did it and went back. It was I'll Fly Away, and he was playing it. There was a bunch of them playing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he played here many, many years at ETC. If you know who was on steel guitar, please let me know. And that is so cool. I think that country music ought to have a steel. I think every song ought to have a steel. There's nothing that sounds like it. Now, can you play any instruments?
No, you asked me that last time, and I still can't.
But you could learn. You're never too old to
Well, I tried to
learn.
learn the guitar. I played about 4 or 5 chords, and that's all as far as I got.
I don't understand
I can
that.
sing. I can sing songs. I just can't play them.
That is so weird.
I
Now,
can't write them very well either.
and your girls all sing. Are any of them musically inclined with the instruments? No,
Kaylee, she plays the guitar.
Okay.
She just learned it recently,
Isn't that crazy?
and she's already playing it. So
and
I can't play it.
I watch people do this,
I'm
and
fascinated
it just
by it.
blows my mind.
I tried piano once, but my left hand won't do what my right hand's doing, and I don't know what I'm doing. It don't. I get to doing this
And
after
you
a while.
come from a family that has tons
But
of
you
musical
either,
talent.
well, you can learn it, of course, but the
Yeah.
people who are the best at it, in my opinion, are the people who know it by ear. They don't know
Absolutely.
music, and they just play it
Absolutely.
naturally.
Yeah.
It sounds so
Yep.
good.
Yep. Well, here at ETC, we happen to have volumes and volumes of old music, old concerts, old stuff.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yes, the last time when you were here last time, we talked about it's been 20 years that you've been here performing and doing music with Gerald Young. I think was the first person who brought you.
Right.
And then you and Leonard Moody came.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just transitioned to First Mountain City, and we just
Right.
kept on and on and on. That's what ETC did for
Done
so
some
long.
solo stuff, and yeah.
They brought in the churches, they brought in the choirs. It was about the music. And so today is definitely Throwback Thursday, Music Mania. So much music came out of these mountains. I watched something the other night with Brett Cantrell, and if you haven't seen the footage that I did of Brett Cantrell at the Apple Festival this year, then you don't have anything to compare the old stuff to, because I was watching what I did of him this year, and then I'm looking at the old stuff, and I'm like, this kid has been around music all his life, because the Chansey family being his family, he learned from the very, very best. Most of the musicians, I bet he's never had a lesson for anything. I bet he picked it up watching his grandma and his grandpa. I bet it was all natural, God-given talent.
A lot of guys do that.
That's
I've seen
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
And they can play anything where other people have to have those lessons. Now, I know some kids who take piano lessons and never quite get the feeling that those who can just sit down and play it, you can tell that they just had lessons. you
Yeah.
know?
It's like Luke Vaught that plays with the Inspirations. I mean, I think there's 30 or 40 different instruments I've seen him play.
Isn't that
And
crazy?
you just put it in his hand and he goes to playing it. I was like,
That is crazy.
doggone.
That's crazy. Well, let's talk about the
get it.
inspirations. The inspirations are actually going to be in town, in the area, not in town, but in the area in the near future. And when you see the inspirations today, they don't resemble the inspirations
sound
at
like
all,
'em.
but they sound exactly like them.
They sound like them, though.
And when you look at this album, I think about I'm Taking a Flight. I love that song. Love it, love it, love it. But this has Mike Holcomb on there, and everybody knows the story. Mike was just under 15 years old when they picked him up, and he became their bass singer for over 40 years. Think about it. Think about
Jasper
that.
boy,
Yeah, Jasper boy.
Pickens County.
Yeah, and I used to clean his Aunt Hazel's house at that time, and let me tell you, on Saturday mornings when I was cleaning her 3-bedroom, 2-bath brick for $12.50. She would sit me down at the kitchen table and tell me all about her nephew, Mike Holcomb.
I mowed grass for her too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
She was a dear, dear friend who loved me, and Lord have mercy, I miss her so much.
I got along with his daddy real well.
Oh, precious, precious, precious. But here we go. Here is the Inspirations. And if you go see them now, they don't resemble these guys, but they sure do sound just like them.
Sound really good.
How do they create? Well, it's like the Chuck Wagon Gang. It's been going on for over 70 years, but the sound is the same.
Well, they try to pick people that sound like it as if they possibly can, and you got to have somebody not only sounds like it, but they're dedicated to what they're doing, and you know that's
Absolutely.
the way it works.
And what was her name? Anna was the one that was the alto. Is that right? Oh, what a sound! What a sound! I don't think anybody really nailed her, but what was she came
Penny?
and did the show for us?
Penny Green?
Penny Green.
Shellnut now.
Yes.
I call her Granny.
Yes.
If she's
yes,
watching, she gets upset by if y'all see Penny or you go on Facebook and you see Penny Green Shellnut, call her Granny. Tell her that Bill sent you.
What a talent! She had that amazing talent.
She lives in Morristown, Tennessee now, and she works for who is it? Some of the Southern Gospel people. She works in the office up there.
Well, and she did marry into a very famous family.
Yeah.
Very famous family.
Dixie Echoes.
That have been doing it over 50 years. I believe they hit the 50-year mark. Now we're thinking about this year, as people hit that 50-year mark, I know the Joy Masters are retiring and the Primitive Quartet retiring.
Right.
Some groups have decided you hit the 50-year mark and I'm old, I'm tired, I'm retiring.
Our group retired too, so
yes,
some of us need to retire.
Y'all, you weren't over the 50-year mark though. I look at retirement as, I don't want to retire. I don't want to retire.
Well, you don't retire.
Quit.
You just change. You just change positions.
Yeah,
That's what you
yeah,
do.
that's
You do
what
something
you do.
different.
That's what you do. Well, you brought me a song, Southern Nights by Glenn Campbell. Did we ever talk about his writing? Did he write any of the stuff he produced?
Sure did. Yeah.
And that is a total another talent. On the 20th.
You can't have that, by the way. That's mine.
No, I know, it's yours. On the 20th of February, it's going to be music extravaganza right here live. We're going to have, it's going to actually be 2 back-to-back shows beginning at 10 a.m. and we are going to do music. We're going to feature these young men beginning at 11, and we're going to feature, tell me about the gentleman we're going to feature beginning at 10.
Andy King, he's piano extraordinary, plays trumpet. He plays lots of different things, but he just got off the cruise with the Southern Gospel music people. They just did a parade of pianos. He was part of that. And he's played with the Hoppers and various other groups.
And you know why he's coming, y'all? You see this piano sitting over here that we never get to use? Anytime we have somebody who is extraordinary on the piano, we got to corral him and bring him in.
Yep.
And you did this.
He's coming all the way from Wilmington, North Carolina to be with us.
Absolutely, 9-hour drive. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting.
I think you'll like him. He's a nice guy.
And on the 20th, put that on your calendar. Hit your DVR. We are going to do it. It's going to be 2 hours of music, and we will be able to have this. Number one, it'll be great to have it for reruns and for re-airing on days if I might be at the doctor or so-and-so, or might be back in the hospital or so-and-so. You never know with old ladies.
You said it.
It's going to be cool. I did say it, didn't I? It's going to be really cool.
I didn't have to.
To have this music, it's going to be Music Mania on February the 20th, and I'm really excited. If you would like to be in the audience and you would like to bring a group, let me know. Because musicians like to play to people. So if you want to be a part of that day, and again, it's on Monday, February the 20th, and this all started because Bill Siniard set it up, and then Robbie Hopkins' boys are going to be out of school for winter break, and it just makes sense. Robbie Hopkins is a writer, a producer, an amazing talent, and he was here about 14 years ago. And people loved him, and they love his writing. He's doing very well in Nashville, and he's writing some really, really good stuff, and you're going to get to hear some of that. So it's exciting. Have we got some of Robbie's stuff that we can end with today, Trace? Yes. So we're going to end today's program with him. And if you know who was on steel guitar, please message me again at 404-375-0590. There's somebody sitting out there that will recognize
What are they going to win?
They're going to win your CD. They're going to win a Bill Siniard CD. So there you go.
God bless them.
Yeah, yay. and congratulations to Marsha McDaniel, who won the one last week. I delivered it to her house. and found out, I knew she was a Georgia Bulldog fan, but you know when you pull up in the mailbox says Georgia Bulldog,
Yeah, that's
you know she's a fan. So congratulations to her for winning that CD.
It's even worse when they come out barking at you.
Yeah, the music. You're crazy. You're crazy. The music and the memories, and there was nothing like the 60s music.
60s and 70s is my favorite.
Yeah,
I like some earlier and some later, but that's my wheelhouse.
I tell everybody in the 80s I was too busy with a restaurant, a bunch of kids, starting a trucking business. I don't even know what music happened in the 80s.
I like some 80s too, but
I don't even know what they were doing.
It got a little weird with all the techno and the keyboard synthesizer stuff, you know.
Yep. Well, my favorite thing at the Iron Skillet restaurant was to walk in there and fill that jukebox with money, and I would start my morning as we're making biscuits, making gravy, getting the day going. I would blast that jukebox out, and I played Tight Fitting Jeans by Conway Twitty, and I played Linda on My Mind, Conway Twitty, and I played Happiest Girl in the Whole USA, Donna Fargo. And then I played Be My Baby by the Ronettes. I had all of those on my personal jukebox
Phil
there.
Spector production.
Such great music, and that's the music, and that's the memories. So
I love that.
How cool
time
is
period,
that?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
I love it.
We're going to leave you today with some music by Robbie Hopkins. He and his boys will be here, and his sweet Donna will be here. Love, love, love them. What a precious, precious family, and they have a direction for their children that takes them the path that God would want them to take. And I love that about them. They said as long as they're walking their walk with God, then we're all good.
That's
and,
a good attitude.
Yeah, you will love these kids. So we're going to end today. Thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
And thank you for not making me look really, really stupid, although I did not do well on trivia today.
Yeah, you made a 50.
So I flunked. I got an F. At least I didn't get an F minus, so I could have. We're going to leave you now with Robbie Hopkins music. We'll see you again soon, only on ETC.
Safer to sleep outside. She's unpredictable like a hurricane. Ain't gonna let it slide this time. She grabbed a bottle of 90 proof. Said she wanted the cold hard truth. But then she hit the roof like rain, coming down on me. Turned off the charm, turned on the storm. Like a category 3, I should have seen the warning signs. How could I be so blind? Won't nothing be left standing when she's through? She hit the roof. Charm.